out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have Captain Marvel. Of course you know why I'm watching this, right? Because the Marvels comes out today, and I'm seeing it today. Yes, some other reviewers have already put out the Marvel review, but for me, I'm waiting for 4DX 3D. Yes, you're going to let me see it in 3D. Yes, you're going to let me see it. But anyway, this is about Captain Marvel. Have I seen it before? Yes. I thought it was okay the first time I saw it, a little mid. Does my feelings change? Let's find out. Chase Leaki here, Full Futon reviewing Captain Marvel. What's about? Pretty simple premise. This is the origin story of Captain Marvel and kind of the origin story of Nick Fury and the origin story of cats as well as Skrulls. Is it Skrulls or Krulls? Whatever. But we are in the universe of the 90s and girl power. So, like I said before, when I watched, this is my second time watching it. The first time watching, I was like, it's not bad. Some people are dogging it. Is it a dog shit movie? No, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, there's some issues here and there. After watching it again, it's the writing. It's the writing really ruined the movie. Some people might say it's the directing, which the directors and the writers are the same person. So, the people that started writing it and they directed it, they could be at fault here. People say Brie Larson seems bored in this movie. I kind of disagree. I don't have an issue with that. The main issue is the writing and the decisions they make that just slap people in the face. So, we talk about the positives. I do think for being a 2-hour movie, it isn't bad. The pacing isn't bad at all. I thought the acting is pretty good. Samuel L. Jackson, like I said, Lashana Lynch, Brie Larson, Ben Mendelsohn, Jude Law. No issues with these characters whatsoever, or the acting. Like, seriously, that part of the movie didn't bother me at all. Weather didn't bother me. Also, like I said, the pacing. It was pretty good pacing. Also, the crafts. Sure, it was fine. I enjoyed it. Was less soundstagey than other Marvel movies. As you could tell watching the special features, they weren't outside with a good amount of the stuff. Of course, when they're in the spaceship, you can't be outside because no shit, Sherlock, you're not outside. Also, some of the Air Force stuff, the Air Force Academy stuff, wearing the shirt. I have the shirt. No, you don't do a rope course that high. You're drunk. You drunk. Yes, you do a little like 20 course thing in Jack's Valley. But other than that, it's just normal stuff. Okay, so like I said, technically, the CGI, yeah, some wonky CGI here and there. Which watching the special features, I was a little bit confused because there was a scene with Brie Larson like flying, and you're like, okay, that must be real. But it's basically CGI when you watch it. So you're like, why did you do that? Did you do it for reference? I don't know if it was actually needed. Let's just get to the nitty gritty of why this movie kind of falls flat. The writing and directing. The writing of Captain Marvel is so simplistic and just so easygoing. There's no dilemmas whatsoever for Brie Larson's character. Yes, she gets kidnapped here and there, but nothing goes shit wrong for her. How Nick Fury loses his eye was horrendous. Horrendous how they decided to do that. What else? How they called the Avengers. It feels like what they're trying to say is without Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character, the Avengers wouldn't have their name. Nick Fury would still have his eyeball without her. And it feels like what they're saying is with this Captain Marvel started everything. And I just felt dirty. Also, everything was just so easy. Once she quote-unquote unlocks her power, I mean, there is no rhyme or reason. There is no fault at all. She kills everyone. Rowan, the Destructor, the bad guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, nah, fam, I'm peacing out. She goes through spaceships and blows them up. No, like training, no nothing. And that's why I have an issue with this movie. Like I said, it's just too easy for Captain Marvel. There's no dilemma. There's no like, oh shit, is she gonna die here? There's none of that. And so it just takes you out of it. The best characters are the Ben Mendelsohn Skrulls. I think that's what they're called, Skrulls. Yeah. They're probably the most intriguing characters, and they don't get enough screen time. Also, when going back to the writing and the final battle sequence, it's not directed well. It's directed very CGI-ish, and it's dark, and it's just simplistic, and there's no real fight choreography. When they are doing the fight scene in the hallway in the very beginning, when she has those, like, pulls on her arm, that wasn't filmed too bad. There were a lot of jump cuts, though, but it looks like they try to do a lot of wire work compared to the special features. But the problem is, if you're going to try to be as realistic as possible and show the actors doing the stunts, you don't need to edit it like you do in this film, because some of the editing, you're like, oh no, don't do it that way. Oh, and finally, the one thing people really dog this movie about is the girl powerness of it. Yes, there were some, cockpit lines and girl, why don't you smile lines and stuff like that, which felt very pandery and just felt like forced, which is like, do you really need to put it in there? Because you have characters like Black Widow, how she was introduced in Iron Man 2, no issues there. But for here, they feel like they have to do something. It just felt off-putting. But overall, Captain Marvel, it's a very run-of-the-mill movie. The technical aspects, like the acting, everything like that, doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Brie Larson doesn't bother me in the role. It's the writing and the choices just feel lazy. There's no dilemma. And it's just straight blah. So Captain Marvel will receive a 2.5 out of 5 Futons, which goes at 50%. Let's see what the critics and user scores gave this one. And I'm really curious, before watching the Marvels, do they do Miss Lynch dirty? But critics, 79%, audience score, 45%, critic consensus. Packed with action, humor, and visual thrills, Captain Marvel introduces the MCU's latest hero with an origin story that makes effective use of the franchise signature formula. Sure, you can say that, but you know what? Like I said, it's the writing. To me, it's just lazy, it's panderversy, and it just doesn't work. 79, 50, 45. Chase Scott here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what things Futon told you. Futon's have a great day. Not care watch this today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And let's see if the Marvels can be better, because I haven't seen Miss Marvel.